Hello and welcome back. My name is Juditha, and on this channel, we talk about all things mindset. We talk about your goals, your dreams, your fears, all those things that go into creating your dream life. Because trust me when I say that I get it, I am right here with you. I'm doing the same thing. So I'm literally just giving you guys all the tips that are helping me along the way. So today, I want to have a conversation about the time in between where you are and where you want to be, and what you should be doing in between that time, and how you can just be patient with the time that it's taken for you to see the results that you want, right? So, the first thing that I want you to understand is as soon as you say, I want this kind of life, or I have this goal, or I want to lose this much weight, like as soon as you declare out loud, or not even out loud, but as soon as you just declare these things and you set that intention with yourself, you put it out there in the universe, like God hears you. And then what happens next is that whatever you ask for, it's answered immediately. I really do believe that, right? However, the way that it's answered is not the way that we expect it to be answered, right? Sometimes I think that we want to be able to like pray, and then like as soon as we pray, we get the thing that we just prayed for. But the way how the world works is that we are creators and we are co-creating our life with God. So what that means is God has his part and we have our part. That's how I like to look at it, right? And when you say, I want this thing, God hears you. And then immediately there's a path laid out for you to take to be able to obtain the things that you want, right? And I'm not saying that that path is predetermined necessarily, because I don't think it's predetermined. I think that our path is what's the word, is always changing, because we're always changing. Like our decisions change depending on what you decide to do next. That is going to determine the path that you are now on. So your path is always changing. Like let's say today you woke up a little earlier than you usually do, you're automatically on a new path, right? Let's say today you worked out when you usually never do, then you're on a new path. Does that make sense? So every little decision that you're making keeps changing the path that you're on, right? And every time every time you encounter an obstacle, right, and you get past the obstacle, like you use your wisdom, you use your intelligence, like you're able to see the obstacle for exactly what it is and you get over it, you become a stronger person because of that obstacle, right? And the person that you became is the person who is going to take you one step closer to the life that you want, right? So the time in between where you are and where you want to be is that character development phase, right? You should be spending it figuring out, who do I need to be and how am I going to get myself to that point? How am I going to be able to see that these obstacles, that they aren't necessarily meant to stop me? Like they're literally answering the prayers that I've asked for. I asked to be more patient. So therefore, I'm going to be placed in situations where I have no choice but to be patient, right? I asked to be more courageous. Therefore, I'm going to be put in situations where I have to step up and use that courage. Like I have to flex that muscle in order for it to become just a part of who I am, right? It's not something that I have to think about. It's just who I am. So on this journey to creating your dream life, you are going to encounter things that are just meant to help you become who you need to be. You have this life for a reason. It's because who you are created this life, the circumstances, everything that you see right now. And you are a vibrational match to your current reality. And that's not a bad thing, because that means that we have so much more control than we give ourselves credit for. Because if I just told you you have control and all that has to change for everything to change is you, then the solution is simple. Like you just have to start to change. Another thing that I think is helping me to be patient is recognizing that I wouldn't be able to take on everything that I wish I had, right? Like everything that I wish I had already, who this version of me probably isn't ready to have it. And I know that because I don't already have it, right? Like I want to be a well-known like motivational speaker. I want to travel the world and I want to do that for a living. However, I definitely still have insecurities. Like I still need to work on my confidence. I still need to work on just being able to have an opinion that other people might not agree with, right? Like I'm doing a way better job than I did when I first started. However, there's still some times where like someone will disagree with me in the comments and I can feel like this tension inside of me, like, no, but like I'm right. Like, why are you questioning me? And the thing about where I'm going is that I'm gonna be questioned by a lot of people. Like when your beliefs are as unique as mine tend to be, you're gonna be questioned. Like people aren't gonna believe what you believe in, right? And I have always said, and I truly do believe that my beliefs are only meant to serve me. Like, I don't need to have beliefs that everyone believes in. And I think that's true for you. I think that's true for everybody. Like, and that's why there's so many different religions, right? Because we all get to choose what we believe in. As long as what we believe in is serving us, is giving us faith, is making us feel fulfilled in some way, then that's all that matters. So I say all that to say there's still things I'm working on, but every time I'm put in a situation where somebody comments and I don't agree with their comment, it's giving me the opportunity to practice becoming the version of me who's okay with people disagreeing with me. Like, it's giving me the option to practice becoming that girl who's like, that's fine. Like, they have a different belief, and as long as it serves them, that's okay. That is the type of person that I feel like my goal requires me to be. And I think that everything in between now and then is meant to help me become that person, right? You can even think about it like when it comes to, if you're someone who you want love, like you want a loving relationship, and you feel like that is just not coming, then you need to look at yourself and be like, okay, well, maybe I'm just not that person yet. Like, maybe there's things that I still need to learn. Like, maybe I need to learn to love myself a little bit more. I need to learn to rely on myself a little bit more. I need to raise my self-esteem. Like, there is always a reason for why you're in this season, and life becomes easier when you look at it that way. At least for me, like, that's the case for me. Like, I don't make where I am mean anything about me. I don't make it mean that I'm not deserving. I don't make it mean that I can't get there or that I won't get there eventually. I'm literally just like, okay, I know for a fact that God is listening to me because I've seen it. I've asked for things and some things are given to me instantly. There's signs all the time. Like, I know for sure that I'm not doing this alone, like, period, point blank. And with that knowing, I also know that everything that's happening around me is happening for me, right? And what I just try to do is I focus on what's going good, because it's so easy to look at what's not going well, right? Like, it's so easy to forget that even in the midst of you still wanting things and wishing for things and wanting things to get better, it's all happening for my good, right? And there's some people who are in situations where you can't think like this. Like, you're unable to actually believe that this is happening for my good. Like, why am I here? I've been here for years. Like, I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. The economy in my country is suffering. Therefore, I'm suffering. And something that I want to say to you, if you feel like that's you, just know that this is as worse as it could get. And what I mean by that is, if you decide that it can only get better from here, then it will, right? If you decide there is a God and I believe in him, and I also believe that whatever I focus on is what I get more of, then you have to decide to switch your focus to what is working. Like, it doesn't matter. You have to find the smallest things in your life to be grateful for already, because the more you can lean on those things, you start to see that life isn't so bad. Like, yeah, I don't have all the money. Yeah, I'm still looking for a job. Yeah, things aren't always going as smoothly as I want to, but I get to choose to be someone who doesn't focus on what is stressing me. I get to be someone who's not focused on the struggle, because I'm so dedicated to the fact that I won't be here forever. Like, I'm so convinced that this moment, this season that I'm in is literally just supposed to teach me something. But if I am being a victim, if I am crying about where I'm at, and I'm not saying not to cry, because you can cry, you can have your emotions, you can feel bad, but you cannot sit in them, because where you are is not where you're meant to stay, especially if it doesn't feel good, especially if you don't feel fulfilled, especially if you know that you feel a calling to do something else, but you're the reason why you haven't done it. Like, the dis-ease that you feel is a result of you not believing enough that you will eventually have the things that you want, right? You are behaving like someone who doesn't have faith. Like, that is the truth, because real faith is being able to stand in the middle of chaos and still see that there is a reason for this, and eventually it won't last forever, because nothing lasts forever, good times or bad times. Like, we all go through things, but what makes the people that are living their dream life different than the people that aren't is that they have taken the time to become the person who is okay with the ebb and flow of life, because that's just what it is. Like, if nothing else, for your own sanity, accept that this is just what life is like, right? And try to enjoy it. Try your best, because stress is a choice. The struggle is a choice. And I know it's a choice because there's people who have less than you, more than you, suffering more than you, suffering less than you. And in between all of these types of people, some stress more than others, some struggle more than others. There are people who have nothing and they are happy with the nothing. You know what I mean? So that's how I know that it is a choice, because you have stories about your situation, and the stories that you tell yourself about where you are, like, it's not good enough, I'm far behind, how is this happening for everybody else, I'm unlucky. Those stories is what makes you choose to stress. Those are the stories that make you choose to struggle, right? Because you are believing them instead of seeing it as, you know what, I'm just being human. And as a human, I experience these complex emotions. However, I also have another option to be able to be the awareness of the emotions and not make them mean that this is who I am or that this is who I always have to be. So that time in between where you are and where you want to be, it's not meant to be punishment. And I'm saying this to you, but just as much as I'm saying it to you, I'm saying it to myself, because I still go through times where I'm like, where is this? Where is that? Where are all the clients? Why aren't they? You know what I mean? Like, of course, I want to be fully booked and I'm not yet. And I think that's because the people that I do talk to, the clients that I do have, I am probably in a phase, in a season where I'm just becoming a better coach. Like, I'm learning how to communicate more. I'm learning how to talk to people more. I'm learning how to just be a better coach overall. And I know that that's the reason, right? I know that this is just what it takes. And I know that eventually I will get to where I want to be, because I don't make quitting an option. Like, it's not an option. It's not a thing. It's not something that I think about. Like, this is my life. This is who I am. And when you are just being who you are, there is nothing to quit, right? Because it's just who I am. Okay, and it's the same thing for you. Like, find something that you love, find something that feels like this is just who I am, and then just be committed to taking consistent, imperfect action on it. Okay, that's all it takes, y'all. This is where we're at right now. So let's just try to make the best of whatever life is given us, because we have that choice. Okay, that is it for today's video. I hope it was helpful. I hope that you become just a little bit more patient with yourself. The time is taken is the time it's taken, baby. But trust me when I say that it's happening for your good. And at the end of all of this, you will eventually end up in a place where you're like, damn, I see why this had to happen in order for that to happen. Okay, well, I hope you bloom today. I hope this was helpful. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Oh, and one more thing before I let you go. If you're interested in joining my mentorship program, Dreams to Reality, it's a one-on-one mentorship program with me as your coach. It's 9 months of us literally taking consistent, imperfect action on your goals. If you are interested in signing up, you could leave a comment with the letters DTR, or I'll also leave a link so you can go ahead and fill out the application. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next one.